From the 7 Storm Team, your first alert weather with meteorologist Ben Terry.
It's been a wet month here in August, closing it out with quite a surplus. In fact, rainfall amounts at the airport have almost come up to 15 inches. That's what we've almost received so far. Officially, there have been a lot of areas that have seen more than that. In fact, my rain gauge at the house in downtown is almost up to 16 inches for the month. For the year, that puts us in it actually puts us in a surplus for over 18 inches of rain, or over 10 inches for above where we should be just for the month of August. So quite a lot of rain for the area. In fact, we're not done. Noticing the radar not looking too bad, though, across southwest Louisiana. Storms have been moving onshore and have sort of been weakening as they approach southwest Louisiana. A lot of that's because of the cloud cover that we have over the area and the limited amount of heating we're seeing across the area. So it's actually resulting in a little bit less coverage of rain inland. Of course, we're seeing the cloudy skies now. It's holding those temperatures back to 80 degrees, and a little bit of rain falling. And our time-lapse view shows how we've been dealing with generally overcast conditions now through the morning. Likely to see very little in the way of some sunshine this afternoon. So right now, 83 in Sulphur, 87 over in Lafayette, and of course your forecast will call for the chance of rain to go up to about 60% by early to mid-afternoon, all because of this upper-level low spinning here over the northwestern Gulf. The Hurricane Center did have this highlighted, but gave it a very low chance of tropical development, mainly because of the proximity to land. This low pressure is going to be pushing its way into Texas tomorrow, of course, drawing in that tropical moisture today. But look at the difference as we go into Tuesday. As that low gets closer and moves into Texas, it takes a lot of that moisture farther south and west of our area. So starting tomorrow, it looks like we'll see less rain overall across Louisiana. We may see a couple of afternoon storms, but that trend of rain will go down even more later this week, which we'll talk about coming up. A lot of active weather on the map as far as the tropics are concerned. Let's first off get to Hurricane Gaston. It was a Category 3 storm earlier this morning, now downgraded to Category 2 status with winds down to 110 miles per hour. Still fairly stationary. It's in the process of making that turn back toward the east, where it will continue to remain a strong storm but not be a threat to land. Tropical Depression number 8, on the other hand, closer to the homeland off the coast of the Carolinas this afternoon. Right now it's producing winds of 35 miles per hour. Notice the track as we go into Tuesday, getting close to the Outer Banks here, those barrier islands of North Carolina. It's going to make a close little graze there. Tropical storm watches have been issued here for coastal Carolina tomorrow as the system nears land, but then gets curved back out to sea. So a close call there, but tropical storm conditions can be expected for areas there along the coastal North Carolina coastline tomorrow. Even closer to home, we have Tropical Depression 9 sitting just north of Cuba, and there has been some convection, some thunderstorm activity increase around the center of this. In fact, the visible satellite showing the thunderstorm activity around this is increasing a bit. Could be some signs this is trying to slowly organize, and this storm here likely will become her mean later today or tomorrow. We'll see how quickly that does occur, but noticing the forecast track, while it will continue on a westward push tomorrow, beginning Wednesday, it will get picked up by a trough of low pressure pulled back into Florida and be a big rainmaker, forecast to strengthen to perhaps 65-mile-an-hour winds there prior to landfall. Somewhere between, say, Tallahassee and Tampa. That seems to be that forecast track. Of course, all this being determined by the upper level trough that will be developing and a front that will sweep in later this week. And that's why our concern really not so much for Louisiana, but more of an impact to Florida. Of course, anytime we have a tropical system into the Gulf of Mexico, we have to watch out for any changes to that track, because it being such a small body of water, it doesn't take much to change areas that will be impacted. But at this point, we're going to say very unlikely that southwest Louisiana will see any impacts from Tropical Depression 9, future Tropical Storm Hermine. But looking ahead, we will reap the benefits as that system moves onshore. It's going to actually pull in drier air to our area, and that may limit just hardly any rain starting on Wednesday. We may even see some drier weather continue all the way into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, giving us a much-needed break.
Let's hope so.
Dry weather for a change.